Alright, hello everybody, I am the Sweeper27 and welcome to yet another Dokkan battle video. We have another discussion video that was spawned from a comment in my comment section from this guy right here. The one guy, 6588, thank you so much for being a homie. Thank you so much for your super amazing comment. Again, I do try to react to everything, so if you guys haven't done so already, go ahead and drop me a comment on any of my videos. I do my best to try to reply to every single thing that I see. He said, and this is in reference to the video that I said, should you summon for TEQ MUI? And he says, do you think he will be coinable if he returns in December? And I said, sadly, I don't think so. We will be in the JP schedule from now on, so he will be returning in a year from now if I had to guess. So this is going to be a little bit of an informational video. It might be a little bit shorter, not like a full-on rant, but just a little bit of an info drop for us global players. What should we expect going forward, because now that the sync is going to be happening with the Worldwide Download Celebration in just 2 weeks, essentially, we really need to start to, understand what to expect. Things that, patterns we might have seen before, they're going to go away. So, there's a lot of things that we're going to have to adapt to, a lot of things that we're going to have to relearn, a lot of things we're going to have to forget. So let's just go ahead and dive in. So the main focal point is, when is this guy right here going to return? This is TEQ MUI, who the JP release date was June 28th, but if we look over here on the global side, it was August 5th. So, if we look at years past, for global, Tanabata SSJ4 Goku, he dropped on November 3rd, 2023 on his Dokkan Festival exclusive banner. He returned very quickly on a December banner. If we look actually here, we're on page 6. We can go to page 7 and see his Dokkan Festival banner was right there. So there was, what is this? This is the God Goku banner? God Goku, wait, what was this? This isn't God Goku's banner. Oh, this was just a filler banner. This was just a filler DFE banner. That's what it was. Then we had the Hero Celebration. We go a page over. We had Android 21. We had the, Super 13 trio, then boom, he returns right away for the Christmas banner. Now does it say on here when the Christmas banner drops anywhere on this website? It does not look like it does, but you can see that is a very, very quick turnaround, roughly around a month. Little over a month before this guy actually returned, so it wasn't the biggest deal if you didn't summon on this initial banner. It might have actually been better had you waited, because then not only do you have him, you have the Anniversary LRs, this is where they return on global, you have last year's Tanabata unit, and then you have a bunch of other very good featured units. The only issues with this banner is that there's so many featured units. You're guaranteed to almost always get a featured, but it'd be a little bit of a shame if you got INT UI sign, for example. That's kind of like the downside to a banner like this, but that's, again, huge, basically no turnaround at all. If you didn't get this guy on his initial banner, you had a chance again within a month. If you go even further back, this right here, this is Vegeta and Trunks, who on the global version of the game dropped on November 28th. So the end of November as opposed to the start of November. But again, we can see their banner right here. This is where they returned. Yet again, this is another Christmas banner. And then right up here, boom, this is their initial banner. So right after the Hero Celebration, we got Vegeta and Trunks. We had a filler Extreme Z Dokkan banner, and then boom, they drop right again on one of these banners that again is just flooded. This even has more units than the one from the year after it. But again, extremely quick turnaround. And again, I don't think there's anywhere on here where I can see when this banner dropped. But seeing as it says Starry Nights and there was only one banner in between, this was a very fast turnaround. So if you weren't able to get Vegeta and Trunks on their initial banner, that doesn't even really matter, because boom, they're right here again with the 7 years. This is the first time that they returned. This is when another Tanabata unit returns. So again, extremely fast turnaround. But let's look over here. So this is, again, this is the exact same banner, just on the JP side of things, and this unit drops on June 29th, 2023. This is his next returning banner. It's not showing for whatever reason, but it's this banner right here. This is this year's Sand Day. This is when they return. So when did Vegeta drop? This is March 18th, 2024. That is what? Nearly 6 months apart, just about, from when this unit originally dropped to when they returned. That is a very large time gap, especially for a unit like this who just got power crept so quickly with how poorly he was designed. But we can look over here. So this is page 3. we have to go back quite far. I think it's page 9. Yeah, page 9. Before we get back to this guy's initial release banner. And again, you can see that this is the initial release because it has his side banner baby. So almost waiting a full year again, March 18th compared to what was it, June 29th? Yeah, that is a long time to wait. That's actually, that's 9 months actually. Because the end of the year would be 6, and then you would add on 3 for March. 9 months, essentially, again, a little bit less than a year, but that's still a long time to wait. So if you were a JP player, you were very incentivized to summon for the Tanabata units just because of how long it takes for them to return. Again, let's go over here and let's look at Vegeta and Trunks. Now, Vegeta and Trunks, I can't actually pull up their initial banner because the wiki won't go that far back. So, they dropped on June 30th, 2022, and they did not return. I think it's this banner right here. Nope, I am incorrect. I don't know why the images aren't loading. Yep, here it is. They returned on God Goku's Sunday banner yet again. And when did God Goku drop? March 18th, 2023. So that's, again, a 9-month loop around. And that is so long. In fact, we see here we're on page 11. This website will only go up to the 17th. So I can't even go back far enough. This right here is the worldwide download celebration from over 2 years ago. Obviously, Tanabata is right before worldwide, just for reference to get kind of like a frame of reference or how close it is. There's a filler DFE banner, as we can see right here. There's like a side banner thing where you can get a bunch of random units, and then boom, you're into worldwide. So roughly, you're missing like obviously the part 2 as well. So there's a part 2, and then another DFE filler banner, and then you're into worldwide if you were a JP player. So again, that is a very long turnaround. And Vegeta and Trunks, especially, they were a very, like, what is the term I want to use here? Like, a very, ideal unit. Why did it send me back here? What the hell? Anyway, we'll just click on this. They were a unit who, like, you wanted to have. They were so good, even in, like, new adverse, metas. Like, I would say that these guys were actually, like, meta-relevant until, we got more difficult content after Fusion Zamasu. Because these guys could still hold down slot 1, even in that meta. They weren't, like, the best in slot 1, but they could do it. And I actually preferred running them as a Future Saga leader, specifically over AGL Vegito. Just because I liked their consistency much more than that unit's potential back during when this meta was, like, the relevant things. But again, if we look here, it would roughly be, like, page 18, where Vegeta and Trunks would be, and then they don't return until page 11. Again, 9 months later. And like, this is a unit who was still good during that time frame, but if we go over here, this was a unit who was not. This was a unit who was not very good. And now if we're looking at the future of MUI, I think it would be a very poor decision on Dokkan's part to just outright power creep a character like this, just because of how powerful he is. Let's go ahead and just look at the global translations, that way I don't have to do anything. But obviously his base form, he is just essentially like a weaker version of AGL MUI, but he has the usage, or like the, what am I looking for? The versatility of his domain, where, you know, he gets the guaranteed dodge for 1 turn. He has the domain, which nullifies dodge, nullification. I don't think that's going to be like a regular thing, and I think if this guy is going to be power crept, the way they're going to power creep him is either A, they're going to replace him with a better unit who also can nullify dodge nullification, or B, it'll be a long time before we see a very meta-relevant, difficult dodge nullifying boss, because they wouldn't drop this ability willy-nilly. I know it's only for 3 turns, that's a very short amount of time. But if you're running 2 of these guys, that's 6 turns. So 2 things are going to happen, in my opinion. I feel like they either messed up, or we're going to have, like, or they're going to mess up in the future. I guess that's what I should say. Because either they made his ability way too powerful, because they're just going to keep giving us dodge nullifying bosses, meaning this guy's going to last forever, or they're going to give us content that is so difficult, this guy's not even going to be relevant. Beast Gohan will not even be relevant. AGL MUI, SSBE, Cell Max, Broly, Gogeta, all these characters, you know, like these top 10 characters are just going to be pushed to the wayside, and I think that is a mistake. So I think what they are going to do instead is find new gimmicks, new ways to really push us as players in uncomfortable positions, where, like, instead of having to just eliminate dodge, what if we get, like, guard nullification? Or what if we just get, what are some other things that they could do that would be unique, something that we haven't seen them do before? Or, like, we could get, like, a very powerful locking boss. Like, this is something they could do. Have a domain that nullifies locking. or start of turn stuns, or start of turn seals, or start of turn debuffs. They could have an enemy that at the start of turn debuffs all your characters by 80%. 80% offense and defense. They could do that. I mean, there's territories now. There's so many things that they could play around with. I feel like moving forward, we will probably see less and less and less of the dodge nullification, because if you think about it, we had the Broly Red Zone during the 7th anniversary. Obviously, that was the most notorious dodge nullification fight pretty much in this game's history. But then we move forward from that. When was the next dodge nullifying boss? I believe it was Omega Shenron in his first phase, which was only his first phase, so it wasn't even like a full fight of dodge nullification. It was just his first phase. I guess we could actually pull this up just since we are discussing it. So let's see. Does this website show you release dates? I guess we are about to find out. I never plan these things out. But if we look right here, Broly. Broly has the ability where he disables dodging in every single phase. And this, I don't think it will specify when the fight released. But again, it was during the 7th anniversary. And then we go a full year, essentially. A year plus, actually, because it dropped with Tanabata, the dodge nullifying fight with Omega Shenron. If we look down here, Omega Shenron in his base form, if I can find it right here, right here, disables enemy evasion. So we go over a year, let's say a year and a half, without seeing this ability at all. And then we don't really see it again. Like, I know we saw it in the Supreme Magnificent Spectacle up against Blue Kaioken Goku. But, like, yes, this fight is, like, kind of tricky, but I feel like it's tricky for, like, other reasons, like this. I mean, yes, this does certainly make it much more difficult. Like, if you watched my video, I did struggle with this guy more than I was willing, but I think right here, it's kind of just how high his stats are. Since he's just a one-phase fight, naturally he's going to have a little bit higher stats. So this fight can kind of drag on for a long time if you don't have, like, all the meta-relevant units. And having a super attack, which is roughly, let's see, what would this roughly be? A 2.4? Roughly with the 50%? And then obviously that would increase this as well. He can also double super. Like, he has a lot of gimmicks outside of just the dodge nullifying, but the dodge nullifying just makes it that much more annoying. We didn't see a real, like, truly difficult dodge nullifying boss up until we get to here, which is Evoken, which is now live in game, which again, that's not even the entire fight. It's a phase. He has one phase where he's able to do this right here. And then if we look on the JP side of things, this fight will be coming within the next 2 weeks for us global players. Let's see right here. The dodge nullifying stage is this, stage 6. And again, it's not the full fight. It's one phase right here. And it is, I mean, this is probably the most difficult thing in the game, because it is late into an already difficult fight. Like, this is, like, this guy is a fraud, but, like, this is a hurdle, and then this is another hurdle. And they're all hurdles for completely different reasons. I almost want to make a video on how much of a bullshit fight I think this is. Like, this is such a poorly fucking designed fight. Like, if you guys want to see a video of me tearing this apart, please let me know, because I would love to sink my teeth into this and how I think it is actually fundamentally designed poorly. And, like, it's difficult, but, like, in a bad way, in an unfair way, in a way that's not fun, in my opinion. But again, so in between this and Omega Shenron, because let's say that if you're a global player, those were a year apart. Again, so what, are we going to see another a meta-relevant dodge nullifying boss in a year? I don't know. But I feel like it's going to be not as frequent as we would probably expect, because then that just leads to so many different cans of worms being opened. So I'm a little bit afraid about this guy. I mean, I don't think he's going to be bad by any means. He's a dodging unit. Like, you can use a dodging unit from the first year of this game, you know, and they could still be good as long as they never get hit. They might not offer anything to the team, but that's just how powerful dodge is. Like, if you have a 70% dodge unit like Chilai, Chilai's one of my favorite units ever. I used to run her all the time without a leader skill, because 70% of the time she would live. Every other unit in my box had a 100% chance of dying. So I would run her without leader skills on super class teams, extreme class teams, just pretty much any setup where I needed a 6th unit, boom. Chilai was on the team, just because that's how powerful dodge is. So a unit like this will pretty much always be good. Plus he has his utility, and then he also has this super powerful transformation, which just makes him that much stronger. But this is a very powerful unit that we're not going to see. Now, this isn't as big of a turnaround. It's still a very long turnaround. Because right now we are in August, so it'll be 7 months. I do expect it'll be 7 months before we see this guy again. I do think that now that we are synced, we're going to pretty much just be seeing them on Sand Day when they return, which is March 18th. And again, I know that's like already like a synced celebration, so that may not come as like the world's biggest surprise ever. But I think that is just going to be the case from now on. Again, I don't really think that's like a horrible thing, because if we look right here, so this is where they return. Again, they return just like a month or so later. But where is Sanday? Sanday right here. Again, it's March 18th. But yeah, moving forward, I think this is where we will, us global players, I guess we need to stop calling ourselves global players. We need to just start calling ourselves players, because everything is essentially going to be the same, except for just like some very minute differences, like when banners drop or when banners come off sale, on sale, different sales in different regions, stuff like that. For the most part, we'll be playing the exact same game at the exact same time, so I don't necessarily know what I should be referring to us as. But yeah, I think this is what we need to start to expect. So again, what was your name? That one guy, 6588. Again, thank you so much for your awesome comment. You gave me some content that we could talk about. But again, global players, or just players in general, I think that is what we can start to expect to see. But referring to a specific question, do I think that he will return in December for red coins as a global player? I'm going to go ahead and say no, because I'm recording this right now on the 12th of August. It is currently 1:55 a.m. Just for proof's sake, that I do record these super late at night. I think that, you know, now that the sync is going to be happening, again, it's within 2 weeks, we can't expect any of these schedule differences or any of these buffs. I mean, maybe since that this is going to be a little bit of a wackier year, because we're going to have a banner with, like, Cellmax. We're going to get Roshi later. But other than that, unless we don't get Jiren in a week, like, right now the game is in maintenance to get Topo. But if we don't get Jiren next week, which I feel like everyone is expecting us to get Jiren next week, and then the week after that, that's when Worldwide is going to start, and the sync will be permanently unified. If we don't get Jiren, Jiren would be in limbo, Cellmax would be in limbo, Roshi is going to be in limbo. So potentially 3 banners could drop, or we might have like a huge catch-up banner that could, like, I think what would be really cool is that they had 3 banners, one that had every single DFE, one that had every single Carnival, and one that had every single Yellow Coin LR, all just 3 separate banners, dropped them all at the same time, right at like the end of the year. I don't think that would happen, but to kind of like, that would be like a good way to like help us catch up, or potentially if like because like, again, if you really look at this year as a JP player, it was one of the best, and if you look at it as a global player, I'm not going to say it's one of the worst, but seeing the JP players kind of eat back to back to back, and like just the global sync that like giving us Goku Black without a side banner unit and then giving it on Frieza's banner was fucking stupid. There are so many dumb decisions. Buffing Goku Black in the JP version, giving us a really shit unit for a long time because he was awful without that extra buff to get his 2 potential guaranteed additional supers. Like, he was just a poorly designed unit. They fumbled that celebration hard. Again, I would have almost much rather us not have a global exclusive and have it be, like, done terribly than what they did. You know, I don't know. I might be in the minority on that one. I'm not sure about that take, but yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you even think I'm wrong. Like, do you potentially think that, he could show up? Because I do think going forward, we won't be able to red coin them until Sanday, when he returns, and then obviously he'll be in the shop, the Baba shop, so you can use your 500 red coins to get him. I really don't think that there's a chance that he will be here in December unless we get some huge catch-up banner that, again, would have, like, literally every single DFE, or maybe every single LR. I don't know what they could do. I don't think they're going to do something like that unless we don't get Roshi and Cellmax and Jiren by, like, October or November. Maybe they could do, like, a huge catch-up celebration, or we might get a Christmas banner, but, like, if I'm not mistaken, JP doesn't get the Christmas banner. So let's just dive in. Is that something that we can expect to just be gone forever? Yeah, they don't get the Christmas banners. Because this right here is New Year's. This right here is the end of the year step up. So, and then, yeah, this is the start of December. Like, when did you guys drop? December 13th. Yeah, they don't get, like, this Christmas banner that we usually get. So, I mean, there's not even a banner where they could return, because, again, if we're looking at this right here, these guys return on a Frosty Miracle. This is just like a Christmas little catch-up thing, since we're not getting the New Year's unit. Like, we obviously didn't get Hiru and whatever. So that was, like, our compensation, but I don't realistically see us getting that moving forward. So, to answer the question, no, I don't think he will return at the end of the year for red coins, unless they do something special. But then moving forward, this is going to be a celebration where players are going to have to really, like, weigh their options. Like, all right, do I want to summon for this character, or do I want to wait 9+ months to get this character? I feel like usually Tanabata, they do have very enticing kits. Even like the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4, at the time, he had that dog in him, and I coped for him so hard during the Fusion Zamasu meta. Like, I was just in love with the character, but like, God, he's ass. He's so bad. He's so bad. He's walking around with all that AGL Bardock in his pants or whatever. I don't know. Minato tweeted something like that, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. But yeah, those are my takes, and this is, again, just me trying to inform the masses, all my global players currently. That is what I think that we should be expecting moving forward. So yeah, let me know all your thoughts. Is that something that you like, something that you're not going to enjoy? If you really want to get TEQ MUI, I mean, I would say wait. I would say wait. Worldwide is literally within 2 weeks. You're going to need that time to get all your stones back. Because there's really not a whole lot within the Topo celebration. Like, we're getting an Extreme Super Battle Road, and I think we're getting a normal SBR. But since we already have, like, all the Ginyu stuff, we'll be getting potentially Super Easy A, SSJ3 Gotenks. Oh, no, we already have Super Easy A, SSJ3 Gotenks. I'm just spewing shit at this point. We'll get, like, his sub Easy A's as well, so I would expect us to have, like, AGL Gotenks, Physical Super Saiyan, Great Saiyaman, Physical Ribrianne, who was actually, like, a really fucking powerful unit, who will be a great addition to the Roshi team. Stuff like that. I expect us to be getting that, and then if we do get Jiren, which I really do expect that we will get Jiren during the week after this, that's probably when we would get, like, the new Golden Frieza and 17 fight and all that other stuff. So even though we're closing in, like, the discounts on his banner really weren't even that great. I guess we can pull up what his discounts on his banner were. They were like 3 rounds of the buy 3 get 1 30, I think is what it was. Yeah, 3 rounds only, perform 3 multis, get 1 free. So it was 30, 35, 45 free, and I think you could do that 3 times, and then this would reset. So, not like the craziest thing. Like, you don't get tickets or anything on this either. I mean, you can buy tickets if you want to, which probably isn't a bad idea, but his banner is kind of ass. So, I don't know. Again, I said before, I would advise probably not to summon, because I don't see dodge nullifying being, like, something that we're going to see in the future, or we're not going to see it a lot in the future. If we do, we're going to get a better alternative. But if we're looking at this ass, decent, good, bad, I would say good. I don't actually know what this kid does. I know he's like a dodging crit unit or something along those lines, and then obviously very, very good. So if you want him, I would say summon now, because I don't really expect us having an option to red coin him. And then moving forward into the future, I think we might honestly just get that sync now, where it's going to be March 18th, the middle of March, before we are able to get him again. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that I'm wrong. Let me know if you think Omatsu's going to do something to actually finally throw us like a nice bone, to help with the sync. Like, I know you can say Global Shaft, Global W, Global whatever. I think both versions have stupid additions that they get. I've always hated the us versus them mentality between the versions. Like, does one version get treated better than the other or whatever? I don't care. They both have dumb shit, right? Like, at the end of the day, JP has its advantages, Global has its advantages. That's why the sync is so good, because we can finally stop fucking yapping at each other, bitching at each other, and we can all just accept that we're playing the same game and that we're all going to be having fun at the same time. I think that's the greatest thing ever. Y'all say hi to my cat. She's meowing at me. Simone! Simone! Yeah! I don't know if that's even picking up on the mic. She's kind of far away. Simone! You can probably hear. Alright, outro time. But that is going to be all for this time, guys. I've been the Super27. I'm a variety Twitch streamer and an up-and-coming PNG YouTuber trying to make it big in the world. I have a Twitter, a Twitch, a TikTok, and a YouTube. The links to which can all be found in the description of this video. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, share me around, and leave me a comment, positive, negative, or indifferent. I would love just any sort of interaction I can get from y'all. But that is going to be all for now. So, as always, I've been the Super27, and I am signing off.